Hello and welcome to Haunted Montreal's Spooky Story Sessions. I'm your host, Holly Rhiannon, and today I'm here with an update on Montreal's haunted drinking establishments. Previously on Haunted Montreal.
Now, bartenders in Canadian legions are used to hearing a lot of stories, from old victories on the battlefield and military's latest strategies, to local community news and salacious rumors in the neighborhood. The bartender at Branch 127, Ken McCaskill, must also contend with a different type of story, that of the paranormal variety. And he's not the only one who's heard of and experienced strange goings-on at the Legion. Despite the sociable atmosphere of beer drinking and partying, the Legion's employees are convinced that the place is haunted. McCaskill himself has stated, "All I know is what I've seen and heard there, and what others have also." Adding, "We have taps that come on by themselves, mops that move on their own, a cross that burned itself into the grass, names called, chairs that move, footprints appearing on a clean floor, and glasses that fall and break, without any patrons pushing them." When pressed to provide more details, the barman explained that all kinds of things in the Legion get moved around somehow, ending up in places that they shouldn't be. McCaskill also mentioned a frightening encounter. One day, while going about his daily routine, he heard a sort of demonic growling noise. It got louder and more menacing, causing him to bolt from the building momentarily in fear. Another time, the aforementioned cross had subtly burnt itself into the grass outside of the Legion without any explanation. Nothing had been placed on the lawn that could have caused the religious shape to appear. Concerning the disembodied voices, in addition to whatever was growling, there's also a chorus of women upstairs who sometimes sing to the sound of a piano. Unusual because the Legion's piano is downstairs.
During the late 1970s, a woman was working at the Pioneer on the second floor mezzanine. Her shift finished at around 4 or 5 in the morning after the customers had gone home and accounting was tallied. Part of her duty was to deposit various things in the owner's offices on the 3rd floor. She hated going upstairs because the atmosphere on the 3rd floor was so completely opposite to the fun and good-natured havoc of the bars below. It was an oppressive feeling, like you were being watched by someone very close. After several disturbing incidents on the 3rd floor, the woman began trying to avoid going there, instead sending gullible new employees to carry out the various tasks. According to the woman, the first incident happened shortly after she was hired. She had to bring some paperwork up to the office. Walking up the stairs, she felt like someone was behind her the whole time. It felt like it, but it wasn't possible. The stairs were very narrow and she was absolutely alone. Upon reaching the 3rd floor, she walked down the hallway. The floor was oppressive and had a very unpleasant odor due to age and neglect. She placed the papers on the desk and turned around to see someone hurrying past the doorway. It was only a couple steps away, but when she reached the hall, there was no one in sight. There was no sound of anyone walking back down the stairs, and all the doors to the other rooms on the floor were closed. Various sources suggest that the inn was haunted, and that apparitions of both Marie-Louise Jussomme and a card-shuffling man dressed in 19th century clothing were seen on many different occasions. Some guests reported hearing disembodied voices, including entire conversations. In another case, a deep imprint appeared on the just-made bed in room number 1, almost as though someone were sleeping there. Light anomalies were also seen and photographed in this room. A strange female presence believed to be Marie-Louise was felt through the inn. Some would feel the ghost to be benevolent, whereas others found her outright menacing. Marie-Louise was often seen and felt in room 3, where one guest complained of a woman sitting on the edge of her bed all night long, which prevented her from getting any sleep. In 2016, a woman named Katerina, a holistic health coach from the San Francisco Bay Area, booked herself into Maison Pierre de Calvet after hearing that it was haunted. She wrote on her blog how she had read reviews before booking it, and what sold it to her were the ghost stories, adding how her readers knew how much she loved connecting with the paranormal. Her story continued. Believe it or not, at around 7 in the morning, the ghost appeared. It was completely dark in the room, and Katerina felt someone grabbing her arm and just holding it. She felt the presence and started to panic, but was unable to move, scream, or open her eyes, no matter how hard she tried. She was not sure how much time passed, but eventually was able to kick with her foot, open her eyes, and get up. She then asked her husband to turn on the TV so that there would be some light in the room. Katerina was pretty shaken up for a while after that, but forced herself back to sleep because at that point she really needed it. According to another guest who left a review on TripAdvisor, room 3 of the inn was definitely haunted. She wrote that when they checked in, they were taken to their room, which Brad Pitt had just checked out of. The room was on the first floor with a beautiful bed, very antique looking, and the reviewer noted how she felt like a princess upon arrival. They then stayed in the hotel for 3 nights. As for the ghost, the second night the reviewer woke up and looked at the foot of the bed. Strangely, there was a man there, in clothing from the late 1800s, sitting at the table by the foot of the bed, just shuffling some cards. The presence of ghosts at this time was also verified in Haunted Canada number 5, where a version of the story written by Joel A. Sutherland is entitled Step Into the Cold. Back in 2019, the Haunted Montreal blog identified 40 haunted pubs, watering holes, and other drinking spots across the city. In the bar industry, change is constant. Venues shut down, reopen under new names, or even disappear altogether. One question always remains. When the ownership changes, do the ghosts stay behind? Since that first list, the landscape has changed. Some pubs have closed or been demolished, while others continue their haunted legacy under new branding. Those that have closed include Charlie's American Bar, Club Le Cinq, Le Pionnier, the John Doe Pub, and Maison Pierre de Calvet. Le Pionnier was demolished to make way for condos. Maison de Calvet is now vacant. Charlie's has become the 042 Afro Lounge. Club Le Cinq is now the Yoko Luna Japanese Steakhouse. And the John Doe Pub is a branch of Tsukiyomi Ramen. In December 2023, Montreal lost a well-known storyteller of the paranormal. Bartender Ken McCaskill of the Point St. Charles Legion passed away, remembered fondly for the ghost stories he shared with his patrons. Meanwhile, Haunted Montreal has dug deeper into some of the original haunted drinking spots, publishing full blogs on Place Vigée, Hotel Place d'Armes, Auberge Saint-Gabriel, and Hurley's Irish Pub. These tales are also included on our YouTube channel right here. But the haunted pub map of Montreal has also grown. 2 more establishments have entered the list. The first is Gibby's Steakhouse in Old Montreal, where a mysterious ghost is said to wander the courtyard, as covered in our video on the Youville Stables. The second is Atypic Club on Crescent Street. Once home to the Dragon and Dame Pub Urbain and later Ayers Rock Montreal, this site has long carried a haunted reputation. In May 2023, the paranormal investigation team Entre Deux Tomes was granted exclusive access. During their 3-hour session, investigators documented a range of unexplained activity. Staff had already reported a so-called kitchen devil lady, shadowy movements in the corridors, and glasses falling without explanation. One employee even claimed he had been shoved by an unseen presence while closing up. With cameras and monitoring devices in place, the team recorded loud bangs, mysterious shadows, glasses and chairs moving on their own, and even a glowing orb captured on video. Their equipment also registered bursts of activity that matched the moments investigators heard or saw disturbances live. In the weeks following the investigation, staff described a rash of strange mishaps, from frozen elevator malfunctions to people being trapped in freezers, adding weight to the theory that something paranormal lingers in the building. While bars come and go in Montreal, the question remains: do the ghosts adapt to new owners and new decor, or do they simply carry on as they always have? Haunted Montreal will continue to track these evolving stories as the city's haunted nightlife goes through its yearly motions. I'm Holly Rhiannon, and this has been a Haunted Montreal update. Signing off for now, but I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Until then, like, subscribe, and as always, stay spooky.